The future of SmartEtailing is here. After 25 years as an e-commerce company, we're now all commerce. Join us around the Workstand to learn more. Hi, well, this is an exciting episode.
Yes.
We've got Ryan joining us today to announce we have a new point of sale system and a new name. It's kind of a big deal.
This is a big deal.
I know. So if you haven't already heard, SmartEtailing is now Workstand. And we have a free point of sale system available to any retailer. And it's included those in-store features of our retail package. That's the POS system. It's included in any of our existing e-commerce packages as well.
Yeah, it is a huge deal. I can't tell you. I mean, how many times we've all been asked over and over again, why don't you, when will you make a point of sale system? And now we can just say that we do. Mm-hmm. You know, as for the name, SmartEtailing's always been a bit of a mouthful. We've stumbled over it. We all joke about the things people think we're saying. Smart detailing, Mark's detailing. So it's nice. Workstand's easier. It makes a lot more sense. But we have a lot of questions, and that's why Ryan's here. So let's just get right to it. Ryan, thanks for being here. And what started all this? Why are we doing this now?
Well, I think it's a logical next step for the company. First, the name, which I think is notable. I don't think it's as important as the features we're bringing to market, but, I'm very proud of the legacy of the last 25 years. But I think as we're bringing more to the market, I think it's time to modernize the company and kind of reframe what we're doing, as really the intent is, whereas the in-store Workstand is where you work on every bike, assemble every bike, and it's kind of the heart of a bike shop. Mm-hmm. We really want to be the heart of the business of doing bikes. And so that's what Workstand means to me. From the point of sale standpoint, it really started with, looking at the market and recognizing that about 30% of shops either don't have a point of sale or they have an outdated or underperforming point of sale. Mm-hmm. And the last couple of years have shown us that, effective use of data has such an important impact on every business up and down the channel and from a business health standpoint. And we feel that for the sustainability of local shops, we really want to bring a solution to the shops that have traditionally been underserved for whatever reason, haven't chosen one of the point of sale options that are on the market. And so we feel that, we're trusted by the bike industry. We're a known quantity. Everybody recognizes that we have, the best network. Every supplier trusts us. We have this huge product catalog. And so we were only a few steps away from being able to deliver a point of sale. And so we basically just built features on top of the backbone of what we already had. And we're excited, to really start, put it out into the world and get more people using it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. I'm selfishly excited about the name change. I can't tell you how many times I have to look at each individual letter when I'm spelling out SmartEtailing, the I and the L. It's there's an I and then an L and then an I. It's a lot. Or if someone asks where I work and it's SmartEtailing, I'm like, smart detailing? Smart. So anyway, I'm selfishly excited.
A lot of people truncated anyway, like smarty, and so it's whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of it. We got a great legacy here. And I mean, think about we're launching a new software today, but in 1999, the same year that Google was founded, SmartEtailing was founded. Mm-hmm. And then at the time, e-commerce wasn't normalized yet. And so e-tailing was. But today it's a dated term. And This is not a dated company. This is cutting edge software. We help bike shops do what REI does. I can make a solid case that a good looking SmartEtailing website looks as good as REI. It's as fast as REI. It has the potential to sell as much. It's more ADA compliant. This is an amazing technology, and it deserves to be have a more modern framework.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it isn't a lot of new features, but it really grew out of, like you said a minute ago, we were almost there. How did that influence how we approached everything? I mean, we didn't really have to start from scratch. How do we bring all that together?
Well, we've been working on this for over 2 years. when we first started marching in this direction, and I quite frankly thought it would go faster because we have this
Really?
massive background. I still haven't learned that software is much more complicated than my simple mind.
You're just so optimistic.
I am, and I live in the vision space where I just go to a whiteboard, I draw something out, and then people build it. But they could do that, but instead they want to build something really good, and so they look at the details. But yeah, so we have this backbone. So like a commerce company is fundamentally a data company, and of course we talk about data a lot in the framework of all the product content data that we have. I mean, it's just I think 750,000 items. All the brands, the 600 brands we work with, the 40 supplier warehouses we're connected with. But how does all of that get consumed and organized? And then how do you take 1,300 merchants, customers, transactions? There's so much information that needs to come together. Well, we had all of that. And so then now we need to figure out what are the new sources of information that need to be handled? How do we take the concept of a shopping cart that a consumer uses on a website and turn it into the point of sale that an employee will use at the cash register? How do we use all of our data to help purchase ordering be easier? So we didn't have to start from scratch, but we did want to make sure that the point of sale functionality was essentially built from the ground up. And so when listeners choose to take a look at some of these features, you'll see that it is the most modern web-based software out there. It just so happens that it's built on this framework that has been in the market for 25 years.
Yeah, as I'm training myself internally, as we're talking about the process of how we help present this and educate our existing client base and new merchants on this, I'm surprised how familiar it feels. That it's as if some of that stuff, it's kind of like it's been in my head anyway, and now it just shows up in the admin, and that I think that's a testament to how hard everybody's worked on that.
How lucky are we to have such a talented team? I am continuously in awe. I think we have to give specific, acknowledgement to Alex and the product team. Mm-hmm. That includes the UI, UX team, Dave and this development team that we have. Like they have been able to evaluate different systems, understand client needs, and build something that's super effective. And as we've been in this beta phase for the last several months, our testers, like the system works. And yes, there's some really good feedback to help us refine it, but we're going to market with a really highly capable system.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a big piece of that is the feedback. I think our team is so talented at communicating what they're working on, where it's going to go, and so on. And then getting that feedback, not only from us, but from retailers. I think that's kind of where their strengths really shine.
Yeah. And so many of us, worked at or owned bike shops too. Like and this is all we do. Like we know this market. And so I think that's put us in a really good spot to be able to kind of design something that, like Marky said, it is intuitive.
Yeah. That felt a little sentimental. So I was curious of things, that we're holding on to in our past. While our name is changing, we're maintaining an owl logo. The essence of SmartEtailing lives on. Why are we keeping an owl?
I think you said it. It's sentimental. Like through the process of transforming this company over the last several years, myself and I think a lot of us have built a relationship with the brand and the new look that kind of was centered around the owl. It has some personality to it. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to let that go. And I think it's important to have a through line because we do have this great tradition. So even as we change our name and we refresh ourselves, let's maintain that connection, because what we and our predecessors have done is really amazing.
Yeah.
One of the things we talked about, you've already talked about, and that we tend to talk about a lot in general, even before this announcement, is data and the way it plays into a business. And you've touched on it some, but I think it's important to think about at the store level. How does this unified solution how do the integrations that we've had in place that just don't exist in other systems, how's that going to make the average bike shop employee more efficient? How's that going to benefit the managers and the owners at the store?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways. But first, let me kind of share a turn of phrase that one of our great clients, Noel Kegel at Wheel and Sprocket, has shared with me. It is really challenging running a bike shop because of the swivel chair effect. You have to have access to so many different softwares and so many different B2B sites in order to effectively run your business. And that brings inefficiency at a time when, profitability is challenging. Mm-hmm. So I definitely, we heard that and we want to try and solve that as much as we can. But if we look first at the cash register when a salesperson is working with a customer, it is lightning fast to search your inventory to make sure that you or one of your other locations has a product that the consumer might be interested in. And if you don't have it, we're connected to all the suppliers. And so you can search for an item, filter by in-store, filter by, at warehouse, see exactly who has it. And so the salesperson can make really informed choices about how to communicate with the customer, which sets the whole business up for success because you don't want to have to toggle over to the B2B to check availability. It makes the customer wait. Not every part-time employee has access to the B2B. And you don't want to sell something that then the buyer can't get. And so then that leads a follow-up to the, conversation with the customer, and it's a bad experience. But then also the e-commerce data, think about a special order. Customer wants, particular drivetrain component or a different color helmet than what's in stock. How does the salesperson and the customer have a good conversation about what's being ordered to make sure that it's not going to have to be a return? Mm-hmm. Well, in our system, you can click on a product and it opens up your own website to show all of that rich content data, the pictures, the specs, the descriptions. And so the customer and the employee can be looking at the same thing and say, yes, that's exactly what I want. But then you go into kind of the back of the shop and the buyer, all of that same technology applies for the purchase order process too. So if you want to place an order from a distributor, you start keying in the product and you just see who has it, just all in one system. And then receiving, when the product comes in, and you can just scan it and it already exists in the system. Mm-hmm. You don't have to create the products yourself. That just is going to lead to cleaner inventories, more accuracy. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many ways that ultimately this is going to make, the Workstand system just head and shoulders above any choice in the market.
It just is mind blowing because so many consumers, in that scenario you laid out where they're at the register and it's not in stock, I think so often now that results in, let me go think about it. And really all that meant was they were going to turn around and they'll have it on their phone on some online thing before they get out your door. Mm-hmm. Now you can intercept that. And to me, that's just something that we've coached retailers on using the e-commerce features we have. But now it just becomes such an easy process to win that sale in the moment when everybody's excited about the sale.
Yeah. Ryan, when you were talking, I had such flashbacks to being at the shop and working with a customer and trying to log into a B2B, trying to find the password. I'm sure we handled those passwords in the least secure way possible. Do not tell our teammate, Jeff Stutzman. With that flashback, and then trying to show the customer the right product and the right price and all of that, really took me back.
Well, and the B2B systems they're not merchandised in a consumer-friendly way. You might have pictures, but you're going to have bullet points that are just designed to help a buyer make a choice. It's not designed this whole e-commerce mindset. The employees that are coming into shops today, they've grown up in a digital world and they understand e-commerce. So that e-commerce interface to understand products is super intuitive. Yeah. And they can have just a simple conversation with customers.
What about that? I mean, I think kind of along the lines, what about how this seamless connection between a POS and an e-commerce website, and with pricing and products and availability and mapping, catalog management. Like, what does that look like now?
Yeah, and a lot of people know this about the system, like the e-commerce platform we've had. I mean, it's the number one system in the market for a reason, in that like data drives everything for the consumer. Like just like when a consumer goes to REI or Target or Home Depot's website, they see what's in stock at accurate pricing, they see what's available to order. Like all of that data makes it such a good online experience. And of course, about 50% of online orders on our network are for click and collect. So bought online, in-store pickup. So we don't expect that to change. It's been hovering at that level, even kind of in these last couple of years after that, because there was a time when that jumped up to about 70%. It's retreated back to about half. And no longer having to take that online order, get it into a secondary point of sales system, and from a shop management standpoint, you're now working in two systems to give the consumer an in-store pickup experience that they really want. Because the consumer doesn't want to come in and shop can't find their order in the system, they can't find the actual product in the store. So I think it's going to be much better for a seamless experience. Again, training staff is going to be easier. But then the same goes for, a transaction that happens in the store. If the customer wants it shipped to their home, all the same functionality that exists on the website will exist in the store. And so it's really a two-way street. Like it's just a ton of flexibility for shops and their customers.
Yeah. And we shouldn't want anybody to think that we're going to shut off external POS systems. Some of the other systems still have amazing functionality for certain business cases. So talk a little about that, nothing changes in that respect if you have a solution that's working for you.
No, and I think it's, in particular, let's call out, long-term partners for us, and the most established, systems out there are Ascend and Lightspeed. We've been working with Ascend since both companies were founded. We started working with Lightspeed, when it was originally Merchant OS before Lightspeed bought it. So these are long-term relationships. They're good systems. We want to stay connected with them. We're also connected with, some outdated systems that were maybe popular 10 years ago. And so if it's a proven, established system the retailer wants to use, great. Or if it's an emerging system that chooses to open up their ecosystem, we want shops to have flexibility. But again, for some reason, whatever it might be for every individual store, the options that are on the market haven't been right for 1 in 3 bike shops, whether that's to get started or to eventually upgrade. How do we make that easy? How do we make that affordable? That's our primary goal. So we really want to maintain this legacy we have of being an exceptional bolt-on e-commerce system. But we really want to help that remainder of the IBD network to modernize their businesses, because the market's only going to get more competitive. It's going to be harder to find and pay staff in order to retain them. Just efficiency is going to be so important, and that's what we hope to bring.
Yeah. So I mentioned it kind of really early on, and I think you just touched on the affordability piece. But let's come back to the fact that there is a $0 subscription. There's no subscription fee. Let me say that the most awkward way possible.
Well, it's not a normal thing to say. It's
a $0 subscription fee. We're going to charge you $0. There is no subscription fee for the POS.
No.
Is that crazy? Correct. Like,
well, we'll find out. But there is a normal aspect to it. So like in software, there's a business model called freemium, and we've all done it. We sign up for the free service, and then maybe it's compelling enough to upgrade. Like I've always been too cheap to upgrade like Strava Premium or whatever. Yeah. So we're just modeling ourselves after that. Like, and with sincerity too. We don't care if you only use our point of sale system and there is no monthly subscription. We want you to be successful. Now, We do believe that our e-commerce packages, starting with the light package at $49 a month, they are compelling. We do hope that once a retailer is able to remove that additional point of sale cost from their business, that it only makes sense for them to kind of get into the e-commerce space. We'll continue to try and make that affordable and effective. But our purpose here is really, help that underserved market get access to technology and provide an easy pathway for them to unlock online revenue if they choose to do it.
We're all marketers, or we're all trying to sell our services in some way, shape, or form. And I want to come back to the sincerity piece, because we've used the line, your success is our only business. And I think what we're doing really kind of helps back that up. Like, the health of the industry matters. Yes, of course, it benefits our business, but it's something we genuinely care about. Right?
To our core. Like, that's our first belief. I sit down for 2.5 hours with every new person who joins SmartEtailing in their first week. And we go over our history and aspirations, and we go over our values and beliefs. And the first belief is that we care, and that permeates everything we do. Like, in many ways, we're a purpose-built organization. We love cycling. We believe that a bike is different than a washer and dryer. It is not purely a transactional purchase for consumers. The experience with a local retailer is going to enrich the cycling experience for people who engage with the retailer. Having places to ride, either natural surfaces or paved surfaces, having access to events and clubs, and having somebody you can come and talk to as you're looking to grow with the sport, that's what the local bike shop does. And so by us delivering value in order to help local business owners be successful, we're making cycling better in the markets we work in. We ask for fair compensation. It is just like the service department in a shop. Like, you're going to deliver a good service. You're going to charge for it. So that's our relationship with our customers. And then whereas it's important to acknowledge that the channel is changing and brands are building different relationships with their customers. We acknowledge that. We're not going to fight against it, but what we are going to fight for is to make sure that independent bike shops are competitive and maintain their position in the market, and they have every opportunity to be successful and sustainable as the market changes around them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I don't know, I think kind of reinforced, and I can't think about it personally, that I've always been a bit of a flounder in life. And I had very little direction, and I loved bikes. I started working at a bike shop, not with the intention of building a career out of it. It was just like this sounds fun for a little bit, was my state of mind at the time. And I really felt like that's where I found my people and my career, and kind of built a life off of it. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's at the core of a lot of us. So.
And everything you said, Ryan, I think nothing changes with respect to the fact that we've never had contracts. So I think that's a key piece to demonstrate what you were talking about. So there's no contract for the e-commerce websites we ever had, the marketing offerings we have, and now with the point of sale functionality, even at that no subscription level, if you come in and it doesn't work for some reason, we never want you stuck in something because of a contract.
It's on us to earn your business, and we do not want to bind you in such a way that if we're not earning it, that you feel like you're having to make hard choices around, whether to kind of have wasted expenses, I guess.
Yeah.
And part of that too is the support that we've always offered. We've always taken a lot of pride in that we have such a great team that are made up of folks, kind of like Susie said, that a lot of them started off in shops and found their way to us in one form or another. This is great, I think, because that gives this team yet another way to shine. They talk to, hundreds of retailers every month. And that same support level, I want everybody to know how hard they've been working in the background to get ready for these changes. So you can expect that same level of, if you still want to talk to Barbara about stuff, now there's even more you can talk to Barbara about. she'll probably love that I reminded everybody they could just call Barbara.
Yes. She's not busy. Just give her a ring.
Yeah.
It is so important though. Like,
Yeah.
again, like it's running a bike shop is not easy. I mean, not only do you need the technology to work for you and try to make you more efficient, but you just need help sometimes. And whether if you're so inclined to use our help center as your your frontline resource, great. But we're not going to hide live chat or email or phone like deep into the help center. If you just want to give a call, give a call. If we don't answer, we're going to call you back as fast as possible. Like within an hour is always going to be our goal. And so that, you don't have to be an expert in technology. We're going to help you solve those problems to the best of our ability.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we really welcome retailers' feedback. I mean, it's retailers' feedback that has gotten us to this place that we can even make this announcement and how we're going to continue to improve it moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how can, if somebody's listening, or they've seen some of Susie's emails and they're excited about this, what's our plan for rolling this out? I mean, obviously it's a big step and we can't just turn the faucet wide open. What's our plan for that?
So I think everybody who wants to learn more, and that doesn't mean you're actively shopping, you need to change urgently, or if it does sound like it's exactly right for you, everybody should take a look. Like there's no downside to knowing what is available to you on the market. We want your feedback too. We want you to look at it and say, oh, this is great. I would, this is a great fit for me. Call me when you have X. There's some feature that I just need. We need to know that. So take a look, schedule a demo. Out of the gate, so right away, our main focus is having a smooth onboarding experience for new users. So if you're not a SmartEtailing subscriber currently and you want to access the point of sale, get that demo and join a wait list. It's going to be an invite-only testing process through the end of the year, not just for the software. The software works, but our support team, we need practice with that smooth onboarding experience. We need to better understand, retailers who haven't been using the system. How easy is it to learn? How are we there for them as they learn it? And then in January, it's going to be available to all new users. We expect that over the fourth quarter, we'll be able to get all those questions answered. But we want you taking a look. We want you joining the wait list, giving us feedback. If you're already a SmartEtailing subscriber, a lot of these features are available to you now. So even if you use another point of sale, but you want to use us for purchase orders, or you want to use us for special orders, start using it. You're going to have access to order a really advanced handheld, payments device that can really streamline your special order process if you want to use it. Those are going to be kind of, you can order it now. We do think that we're not going to be actively encouraging it in the next couple of months because we do want to make sure that, some of those support needs are in place, but you can do it. But yeah, get in there, take a look around for yourself, use it. It's there for you. It's optional, but included in every SmartEtailing subscription.
Yeah, it's there. And I think as a business owner, it's what a unique opportunity to get to go look at something with zero strings to evaluate it, but don't leave out your team. Get your buyers involved, get your sales staff involved, get your service managers and service writers involved, because all of those things hinge off of a POS system. And this is a great opportunity if you're already a SmartEtailing e-commerce client to go ahead and start looking at that. And I just said SmartEtailing, I should say. You're already a Workstand client.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, it'll take some time. And if you're somebody who doesn't work with us today and you want to take a demo, it's also important to note that you can get a lot of the first steps out of the way. Like let's say you get the demo and a light website package also looks right for you and $49 a month is affordable, but you know that the point of sale is going to be an important part of your business. Sign up for a website. Because then you can get all your settings and your foundation in place so that when you have access to point of sale features, you're up and running, and so it'll save you time in the first quarter, so that you're not feeling like you're changing systems as you're kind of prepping for your season to kick off.
Yeah, and speaking of support, we have an excellent success team. Will even help build your website for you. Really make it easy, kind of get you going, and I don't know, lower that barrier to entry.
Yeah.
All right. So new folks, existing folks. Linked in below is the link to the request a demo form. Get that demo. No, absolutely no obligation. If you just, if you're used to talking to me, give me a call. I'm one of the people that will do the demos. Brian, everybody knows Brian Rawlings. Whoever you have historically worked out, if you're already in our ecosystem, if you're comfortable, reach out to them. But whatever, let's take some time and walk you through this stuff. It's going to be important. It could be potentially very helpful to your business. And we're here for that. And that form will live on workstand.com. Not SmartEtailing.com.
Wild. Yeah. So we'll be communicating all of this stuff, the changes, reaching out to individuals on our wait list, sending out some personalized invites to get folks to use it right away. Via email, you'll see posts on social, we'll have a blog post, new content on our website, weekly podcasts. I'll just keep up with us. We're exciting.
Yeah. Do we miss anything, Ryan?
Probably.
There's so much. Well, yeah,
yeah. But this is just such an exciting time. I mean, it's for the team at Workstand to be a part of transforming the company. I'm really just so happy for everybody here. I'm really happy to be able to finally deliver on, Mark, you said, for years, our customers have been asking us to do this, and we can finally deliver. And then again, for that, 1 in 3 shops who just don't have a good solution right now, we can help, and we can help without, having a monthly expense for them associated with using a point of sale. So I think it's an exciting time, and again, like Mark, you said, just get a demo, trust us. It's low pressure. This isn't a trick. Get a demo. We want you to take a look at it. We want your feedback. We're not gonna play games. Just take a look.
No, that's not good for business.
No.
Oh yeah, we'll share more. There'll be more podcasts from us, and we'll reaching out to you directly, and we'll see you soon around the Workstand.
Love it. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.